Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I know you haven't seen this in a while, so today we will be talking about Haemin Sunim's love for imperfect things. This month for Booktube Malaysia, we have something called Konten Bertema. Konten Bertema, or themed content. So this month of January 2022, it's actually hashtag mencintai diri or hashtag loving yourself. So for this hashtag, I pick Haemin Sunim Love for Imperfect Things, and this book is a self-help book. I'll be honest with you, I haven't read that much self-help books. I think including this, in a lifetime, I think I've read about 5. It's not because I don't feel the need to help myself, because trust me, I myself need a lot of help in a lot of departments. But self-help books tend to get overly preachy and impersonal to the point where it really ruins the reading experience for me. If I want to read scholarly books, I go to classes. And lucky for me that Love for Imperfect Things is actually a really well-written book that doesn't try to be preachy. So Haemin Sunim is a Buddhist teacher / professor at Hampshire College. Haemin Sunim is also a founder of a non-profit organization called School for Broken Hearts. His first book was a success, and it's called Things You Can Only See When You Slow Down. And Love for Imperfect Things was translated by Deborah Smith, who is also the translator of Han Kang's The Vegetarian, which is also one of the books that is in my TBR list. And there are also illustrations in this books by Lisk Feng, sorry if I butcher that, whose works was featured in The New Yorker, The Washington Post, The New York Times, and even The Wall Street Journal. The lessons in these books are primarily based in Zen Buddhist teachings, but it still has a very universal feel to it. The core concept of this book is about how to accept yourself in a world striving for perfection, because let's face it, none of us are perfect. Haemin Sunim puts a lot of very relatable advice in here that are just applicable to all. Initially, when I first found out that Haemin Sunim is actually a monk, I thought that this is gonna be like something that is focused more on the spiritual, like say Secrets of Divine Love, which is still amazing, by the way. On a side note, I highly recommend Secrets of Divine Love, whether you're Muslim or whether you're non-Muslim. Maybe you're just someone who wants to know more about Islam. This is a book for you. It doesn't try to preach you like, oh, Islam is a religion for you. No, it's just try to show you the universal teachings of the Quran, and there are some things that you can just show that you can practice in your life. I think everyone should check it out with an open mind. So yeah, I thought that this is going to be something in the lines of that. It's going to be focusing a lot on the Buddhist teaching. But this is something that he gathered across his journey as a monk. And not just that, even before he decided to go into monkhood. The thing that I love about this book is how it is delivered in a simple way, in a very understanding manner, that he understands that not everyone that's going to pick up these books is a monk, not everyone is a Buddhist. He definitely wrote it with a universal audience in mind, and I appreciate that so much. Surprisingly, it is also a very short read. I think I finished to read it in one sitting, and the thing about this is that he condensed his lesson in short paragraphs and in short chapters that can be summarized in, I'd say, in passages, almost like a poetry kind of way, but not exactly. And it also contains a lot of tips for meditation. I personally have never meditated in my entire life. I think the only meditation that I had was before I go to bed. I say that's the closest thing to meditation that I have. I like to listen to the sounds of rain so that it makes me sleep better. I believe that this is something that you have to experience it yourself. One of the things that really hit me with this book, the idea of perfection itself is non-existent. It's just the idea of perfection that is different for different people. Some of the key takeaways that I can for this book is for us to go ahead and try new things. To live in fear, the more we fixate on that, the more stressful we are, and the more it limits us in our lives. things just happen. Some things are just out of our control, and it really gives me the courage to try something that is, out of my depth. I want to try something new. Some things you just have to stop blaming yourself for it. Like not having the perfect job, not having the perfect family, or not having a perfect education or perfect life. But what we can do with our life is to make the best out of everything that we've got. By having that mindset, you'll begin to see the world in a different light. And even if you want something better out of yourself, it'll be easier to work for it. Because when people work from negativity, they say, oh, my life sucks, like how can I move forward? Because you are in such a negative mindset. But when you start from a positive mindset, things would feel lighter and much easier to start. It doesn't work like magic, but it definitely helps. Ultimately, I think that this book has a very gentle way of teaching. It doesn't try to preach you about life or anything just because he can, even though he can, but he doesn't. And because I'll be honest with you, I really don't like it when self-help books try to be like,
you suck with your life, you need to step up your game.
I don't like that. I really hate it when self-help authors do that. Some people who read self-help books is because they need guidance, because they already have that feeling that they suck. Some people do. At the point that when I was reading this book, I was already feeling that way. So it really wouldn't be helping when I read the book and the first thing the author said to me is that I suck. Yeah, thank you so much. I will not read your book. So I love how gentle Haemin Sunim is with his teachings, and that it is really great that he's doing this book that has a very universal feel to it. That even though we came from different religion, I can connect with him on a lot of things, and this is amazing. I would love to get this book signed by him, totally, if I have the opportunity. So yeah, that is all from me on Haemin Sunim's Love for Imperfect Things. I highly recommend you to check it out. It's a short read, and it really doesn't take long. I think it took me like 2 hours to finish it. It's simple, but it's true. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.